Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room recap for Friday, April the 1st. And this was no Fool's Day at all. This was a super exciting day. I'll get into that in just a bit. Um, again, my name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of our trading room. This is the address to get in. It is a free room, free room. I share my screen all day long, and I'm on the mic live between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. You do not have to be a member of Trade Ideas to participate in the room. Obviously, at some point, we'd love for you to take a subscription, but there's no obligation. But if you at some point do want to take a subscription to Trade Ideas, you can use this code or this link, trade-ideas.com/Barry. All right, well, let's get into it. First of all, just one second. Just got to rearrange something on my other monitor. All right, so GNCA. Now, I had already done the video, and we had seen this stock in the pre-market. I believe it had popped up. I didn't really pay too much attention to it because it was a phase 2 study. Anyway, I guess all sorts of reports came out that they were Cowen or somebody, obviously some investment firm that put a $40 target on it. That really juiced this stock. Um, I got in late. I got in at 589. Again, this was, we did this in the room. And I sold some up in this area, made great money on it, held overnight, and almost sold here. This is the pre-market activity, and got out just above 7. So, obviously an excellent trade. Now I have to see what happens later on. I would actually keep watching this one for a while. I know somebody else has now put a 12 or a $14 target on it. Anyway, we'll have to see, but certainly that set the tone for the day for me anyway, waking up to that. So, however, super excitement. And by the way, I am in this one right now. Hopefully, I'm going to juice this up. This is an interesting one. If you take a look, I can't show it to you. I don't have that chart up, but the 200-day moving average is right here at 1660. That is why this caught my interest to see if it would bounce off it. I'm in at 1671, so it hasn't done anything yet, but we'll see, and just have to keep an eye on it on my other monitor. Now let's get on to the exciting stuff. I got into, and this was after, unfortunately, missing some other ones that really ripped. You know what? Let's take a look at CSII first. CSII. Now this is one that I talked about in the pre-market. And here's where it closed, 1041. Had this was the activity. It was just over. Well, when I was watching, it was right around here, around 11, and then it popped over 11, and then it just tore. And it went without me. A lot of people in our room took it though. I'm so happy that that happened. Say a lot of people took it. It just went too quickly, and I just didn't feel like chasing it. Though in retrospect, obviously, I could have chased it here, all the way up. But anyway, I didn't do that. So I was kind of, a little ticked off because I talked about it at fair length in the pre-market, and I just didn't expect that this would happen so quickly. And then the other one happened, SKYS. And look at this thing. This is really ripping. Exactly the same thing. Now, I had this thumbnailed because, this was something that Dan Merkin, our CEO, popped into the room and said, watch this one, guys. And, after, it didn't really do too much, but I did have it thumbnailed. And look at this. Again, the same sort of action as the CSII. Just absolutely zoomed up, and now it looks like it wants to challenge 5. And I know a lot of people are in this one still. So there's two that got away from me very quickly. So when this one happened, DRWI, not that it was quite as dramatic as the others, but I was bound and determined to get into it, and it worked out really well. Now the reason I saw this one was because this was a Holly alert yesterday. The actual trigger was around 4, and look at the move it made all the way up to 5. And I did not get into it yesterday, unfortunately. But I had thumbnailed. It didn't have a lot of pre-market action, not really. But the minute it held 5, notice what it did. It dropped below, and then it came back up, and I hopped on it this time. And not quite hopping on it. I actually got in quite late, about 5:32, right around here, 5:32. But I mean, look at this. I mean, the next candle. got as high as 640. Now I did not get out there, unfortunately. I was actually out at five. I took some profit at 544, and then the rest at just over six in this range here. I was looking for, and I took my eye off it just for a second. I was actually, because I was in at 532, I was looking for a 632 on the bid. I don't think it got there. I think even though the ask got up to 639 or 40, I don't think the bid actually got there. And the reason I was doing that, people laugh or joke with me about a berry buck making $1 in a trade, and so I was kind of holding up for that and didn't get it. So anyway, with the GNCA and the DRWI, that absolutely made my day. And I did trade some other stocks. Don't really. This is one actually. This was a loss. Didn't shock me, but I was able to escape it. SCLN. This was one that was alerted yesterday, and this is the 15s. This actually rose probably $1 all day long, and so this was thumbnailed on my charts. And so when it held 11 right here, I decided, you know what, I want this one. Now, I actually was a little premature on it. I looked at this. Actually, I got to make sure I know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, no, I took it right there. I had mentioned that the high of the day was up here 11:15, but I thought, you know what? This looks like it wants to just continue. Here was the pullback, 10.95. It maintained $11. Now understand that this red candle was green. Okay, it was green. It was moving up. So I took the trade at 11:12, and then it just collapsed almost immediately. And I was able to get out at what was the price at 11:03. Took a 9-cent loss on it, and then it just really moved down after that. So I was very fortunate to actually escape with only a 9-cent loss. If I, not that it would have been, it did come back a little bit, and I got these topping tails, but nonetheless, it's very whippy right now. So I did get out of it and without too much damage. Um, what else? Oh, I tried this one, TNMD. The reason I did, or TDM, sorry, TNDM. Notice the pre-market action. Now, the volume is nothing in this one. Wow, just watching skies go. In fact, I might just have to take some. Just a second here. Watching it just as it's over 5. Okay, I'm just keeping an eye on this one, okay? My other monitor. So, just watching to see if skies can hold 5. You see what I'm looking at here. So, and Orin is doing nothing, doing absolutely nothing, but there's no reason for me to get out of it yet. Obviously, my stop would let it get no less than 1660. That's where the 200-day moving average is. That's where the bottom is. If it drops probably into the 60s, I'll get out of it. It's just taking way too much time. Um, so TNDM, why did I even look at it? In the pre-market, look at this spike up here, all the way up to 979. Now, it has hardly traded at all. I'll bet, in fact, if I just 1 second, let's see how many shares it has actually traded. Well, it's traded 110,000 now, which is still not any great shakes, but at the time it was only 50,000 or 48,000 or something like that, and it barely moved in volume. You can see there are a couple little volume bars down here. Bottom line is this, is that I decided to take the trade at $9.09. And it popped up here and I thought, wow, this maybe is going to have a chance to keep going, even on the low volume. And it just didn't do that. And as it moved back down, I decided to exit the trade. So, because my thinking was this, is that even though it's a low volume, it had this spike up there. Everybody would have seen this. Anybody who's a trader will have seen this, just like I did. And thought, well, maybe, even though it's low volume, the spread wasn't bad. It was only a 2 or 3 cent spread for a low volume stock. So that's why I took the risk. And also, I felt my risk was really $9. I mean, and look, even though it's low volume, it still hasn't dropped below 9. Okay, I'm in the skies. I took the skies at 508. So let's see if it keeps going from there. And the ORAN is doing nothing. So I'm going to get back to the room. This is a little turning into a bit of an excitement thing here with the skies if it keeps ripping up. Okay, so as I say, I took the trade at 508. And that's it. So this was definitely a fabulous day to be in the room. We had lots of great trades, and especially early on, for the first 45 minutes was just phenomenal, really. So I hope everybody has enjoyed the room, and if you have enjoyed the room, again, it's free. Tell your friends. I mean, there's no, there's nothing to lose. This is a free room. Again, I share my screen all day long, and I'm on the mic between 9 and 4 Eastern Time. So hope to see you in the room. Everybody have a great weekend. Again, here is the code for the if you want to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas. So everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye bye.